Hi guys, Assalamu alaikum. This is Arif. In this video, we are going to see who is the best batsman of the world. And in order to do that, I have selected five batsmen from five different continents of Europe, Australia, Africa, Asia, and the Americas. And the way I had set the criteria that the batsman should have at least 50 runs per innings or more average. They should have at least 10,000 runs, and then their performance should be better compared to the others in the foreign countries. So the five players I have selected are Ricky Ponting from Australia, Brian Lara from West Indies, Jacques Kallis from South Africa, Allan from Australia, and Kumar Sangakara from Sri Lanka. So let's go to their stats and see how well they performed. So first of all, we have Brian Lara. He has played 131 matches. Runs he has scored 11,953, average of 52.88, strike rate of 60.51, hundreds 34, double centuries 9. And then at home, his record is 65 matches, 6,217 runs, an average of 58.65, strike rate of 60.34, 17 centuries he has scored, and out of those, 4 were double hundreds. So as you can see that Lara's average at home is better than his away average or the overall average as well. Actually, his away average drops below 50 due to this. Although his strike rate is similar and half of his centuries are at home and half are at away, right? And even his double centuries are more away than at home. And then we have Jacques Kallis. Overall, he has played 166 matches, 13,289 runs he scored with an average of 55.37, strike rate of 45.97, 4,500 he scored. Out of those, two were double centuries. At home, his record is 88 matches, runs 7,035, average of 56, strike rate of 47.72, 2,300 he scored at home, and out of those, two were double centuries, so he didn't score any double century in away series. And then his average is more at home than away, but his average doesn't drop below 50 in away series, right? And also his centuries at home are more than his away centuries, not like Lara, whose centuries are actually equal in away and home series. And then we have Sangakkara from Sri Lanka. Overall, he has played 134 matches, 12,400 runs he scored with an average of 57.40, strike rate of 54.19, 38 centuries he scored, and out of those 11 were double centuries. And at home, he played 75 matches, 6,833 runs total, with an average of 60.44, strike rate of 55. Centuries he scored at home were 22, and out of those, 5 were double hundreds. So as you can see, his average drops at away series because in home he has 60.44, an average more than his overall average, but his average also doesn't drop below 50 like Kallis's average. And also his away centuries are lesser than his home centuries, which are 22, right? And his away double hundreds are actually more, 6, and at home he has scored 5 double hundreds. So Now we have Ponting. So Ponting has played 168 matches, 13,378 runs he scored at 51.85, strike rate of 58.72, 41 hundreds he scored, and out of those, 6 were double hundreds, and at home, 92 matches he played, 7,578 runs he made at an average of 56.97, and then his strike rate is 60 at home, 23 hundreds he scored at home, and out of those, 5 were double hundreds. So his double hundreds are mostly at his home and only one in the away series out of the total 6. Also, his average also drops down to below 40, right? And then his strike rate is also greater at his home, and out of 41, 23 of his centuries are at home. So that means that most of his centuries are at home, just like Sangakkara and just like Kallis, right? And then we have Allan Border. Allan Border has played 156 matches, 11,174 runs he scored with an average of 50.56, strike rate of 41.09, 27 hundreds he scored in total, and out of those, 2 were double hundreds. At home, 86 matches he played, runs 5,743 he made with an average of 45.94, and then his centuries are 13 at home, and out of those, 1 was a double century. So as far as Allan Border is concerned, look, his average is actually below at home than his overall average. So that means his average is actually above 50, more at home, more in the away series actually, rather than at home. Look, his overall average 50. So this is actually a great stat to figure out. I couldn't find his strike rate at home, but his centuries are even less at home and more at away. 14 centuries in the away series. So this is also great. Also his double hundreds. One is at home and one is at away, right? So now let's figure out that who should be our best batsman. So first of all, we can have a look at the stats of Ponting and Lara. So we can see that Lara's average is also greater at home and lesser at away. Same way, Ponting's average is also greater at home than his overall average and lesser in the away series, right? So we can't figure out who is the winner from this, but we can go here then. Now we can see that Ponting has actually 5 double hundreds at home, just one in away series, but Lara 4 double hundreds at home and 5 in the away series. Much better in this column, Lara. So Lara is above Ponting in our ranking, right? So Ponting is below Lara. Remember this. Now we can check the stats of Lara with actually Lara with Kallis. So we can see that Kallis average is actually better at home, and Lara's average is also better at home rather than away. But Lara's average drops down to below 50 in the away series. Kallis average is not dropping down to 50. If you are going to calculate this, his average is going to be above 50 in the away series, which is a great achievement, right? Because away series to me have more weightage than the home series, home advantage. Then we can see that Kallis has actually 2 double hundreds and all of those are at home. And Lara has 5 double hundreds in the away series. But again, I think this is to me of the less weightage. Lara was a match winner. He was good, brilliant, but I think the way Kallis is, I mean, even if you don't have any double hundreds in the away series, still you have an average of above 50, and Lara has 5 double hundreds in the away series, but his average is below 50. So to me, average is more important because that shows your consistency. So Kallis is above Lara in our ranking, right? Now we can choose between Kallis and Sangakkara. Who is going to be better? So now if we are going to see that Sangakkara at home has also more average than Kallis at home has also more average than away. But if we are going to see Sangakkara's average like Kallis is also above 50 in the away series, right? So here they are equal. Both have not only an average of above 50 at home, but away series as well, right? So this can't be deciding factor. So we can go here, right? And now we can see that Sangakkara actually has 6 double hundreds in away series, and Kallis doesn't have any double hundred in away series. So I think once you make a double hundred, it's very hard for your team to lose in a match. So I think this is going to be a much better match winning performance than Kallis's performance, right? So we can see 6 double hundreds to 0 double hundreds in away series. So Sangakkara is going to be ranked above in our ranking to Kallis. Remember this. And now, last and not the least, we are going to compare Sangakkara with Allan Border of Australia. And now, if we are going to see that Allan Border's average at home is at 45.94, but can you believe that his average in the away series is actually more than 55 runs per innings, which Kallis and Sangakkara don't have. Their average is above 50 in the away series, but as far as Allan Border is concerned, his average in the away series is actually not 55 runs per innings, even more than 55 runs per innings. So that to me is the most important criteria, that at home everybody is a bully, right? But in the away series, that's where your test comes, real test comes. And also, if you are going to see, he has scored one double century in the home series and one in the away series. His centuries even are more in the away series, 14 centuries and 13 at home. So I mean, these stats are just like unbeatable. No matter what Sangakkara, Kallis, Lara, Ponting have done, but this is just like I never saw this figure before. That a batsman has more average in the away series, and that average is even above 55. Not just above 50, 55. So what can you do then? How can you decide? I mean, these are great stats comparatively, right? But look, Allan Border, and let me tell you, once Allan Border was playing, there were no Zimbabwe, Bangladesh, these kinds of test playing nations that you could increase your average. Most of the players, especially from India, have very huge averages because they played really well against Zimbabwe or Bangladesh or teams like this. But in Aaron Border's era, there was actually a West Indian team who was just like superior to even Australia. But still, his average is above 55. And his runs, you can see, he was the first man to score 11,000 runs, and he was the highest run getter in his time, right? So now, as far as our ranking is concerned, the way we are going to decide is that at number 5 we have Ponting, at number 4 we have Brian Lara, at number 3 we have Jacques Kallis, at number 2 we have Kumar Sangakkara, and at number 1 our best batsman of the world is Allan Border. Once I was doing this video, I didn't even have any remote idea that the result would be that Allan Border would be the number one batsman. I was thinking probably it would be between Lara, Tendulkar, Ponting, Kallis, Dravid, Sangakara, somewhere around that. Even Gavaskar, I was thinking probably he is going to end up winning, but no, this is actually Allan Border, who is our best batsman of the world. So this is according to the stats based upon their home and away records, right? But now I am going to tell you out of these who is going to be my pick if I have to pick only one batsman out of these as a player, as a batsman in my team. Like I have five players to select and I can choose only one batsman according to home and away, everything in my mind. So I am going to pick actually this player because his bowling stats are also just like great. So in his case, I would have very good batsman in my team, but also a very great bowler as well. Because the way he is like, I mean, he not only can bat, but he can also bowl as well. I mean, in the case of Sangakkara, he was a also very great wicket keeper as well, and he's ranked above as well. But in the case of Sangakkara, the situation is that I mean his stats are better once he was not doing wicket keeping, right? But Kallis stats are like I mean he was always bowling once he was batting and he was playing, right? But he contributed. I mean, the way his bowling stats are, I mean, they are also just outstanding. So that's where my pick would be as a best batsman of the world, Jacques Kallis. But according to the stats, Allan Border is our winner. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Have fun.